When you have ADHD, you often have a very busy mind, racing thoughts. Sometimes you see connections between things that other people might not see the connections between, and this can lead to some really unique and interesting ideas. It can also bring some interesting difficulties as well, though. You might have your ideas at inopportune times. You might have so many ideas you don't know which ones to go with or how to use them. You might have difficulty in executing those ideas. Even today, I am doing a video on something completely different than what I thought I was going to be filming a video on yesterday. I went to bed thinking one thing, woke up thinking another thing, and now I'm doing the third idea that I had for today. On my phone here, I have so many ideas. It's like 22 pages or something of ideas on my phone that I've jotted down. And yes, I know my phone is all cracked up. I did order a new one. Today, finally, I had a lot of difficulty deciding on which one to order, which is a whole other story. I have so many ideas. I don't know what to do with them all, or I don't have the time to bring them all to life. Well, I mean, maybe in many, many, many years I could bring them all to life. It's great to have all those ideas, but sometimes you don't really know which ones you should do something with and how to do something with them. One of the suggestions I would give, whether you have ADHD or not, really all the suggestions I'm going to give are useful whether you have ADHD or not, but especially if you have ADHD because you come up with so many ideas. One of the suggestions I would give is to jot down your ideas, whether it's in a phone, on the computer, on a piece of paper, especially if you're someone who comes up with a lot of your ideas when you're laying in bed. It's a really good idea to have a piece of paper next to you or a notebook that you keep your ideas in would be even better, because then you don't end up like me with a bunch of random papers everywhere that you then have to sort out. I often come up with ideas in the car, and when I'm in the car, it's really difficult to jot ideas down. Once I get somewhere, then I'll jot it down in my notes app in my phone. But part of the issue with that is because if I don't put enough detail, I don't even remember exactly what the idea was about. Like, I have some ideas in here. I've got focus inward. Now, I definitely could come up with an idea for what focus inward is for a video. And I also have here, keep it balanced. Keep it balanced. Very descriptive. Now, maybe those were the ideas for titles I had at the time. I don't remember specifically what those ideas were because I didn't put down enough information. So notes apps are great, but what is even better is if you voice record. So if you can have your voice recorder ready to go wherever you are in the car or if you're out, and then if you come up with one of your ideas, brilliant or not, that can be decided later. When you come up with one of your ideas, you can record it, but you can record it more fully with that idea that was in your head at that time, that free flow that was in your head at the time, because I can come up with an idea now for keep it balanced or focus inward. I'm sure there are many, many more in that list, but whatever idea I come up with now probably isn't going to be quite the same or quite as great as whatever the idea was that I originally had when I jotted that down. Just have some way of getting the ideas down, because there have been so many times where I think I'm going to remember an idea and I keep repeating it in my head wherever I'm going. I'll be like driving in the car and I'll be like, I'm going to remember that idea, and then I get wherever I'm going and it's completely slipped my mind because I've been distracted by something else a lot of the time. So jot down your ideas would be one of my biggest suggestions, and not only just jot them down, but jot them down with some description so that you can remember more of what the idea was when you come back to it. The other thing that's really good to do if you get a lot of ideas, and especially if you get your ideas at night, and you think all your ideas are brilliant. When you have ADHD, you often think all your ideas are brilliant. So it's often a good idea to sit on the idea for a while, because sometimes 24, 48 hours later, it's not going to seem as brilliant as it once did. You can also bounce the idea off a trusted friend. One of my kids has ADHD, and They come up with lots of ideas too, and I try to be the voice of reason, but I'm also their mother, so you know, a lot of the time they're not going to listen to me. Choose someone who you are going to listen to their opinion, most likely, and who's going to give you an honest opinion. Not someone who's going to like shoot down all your ideas, but just someone who you trust to encourage you, but not falsely encourage you if you come to them with an idea. When you have ADHD, you can be very impulsive, and so if you bounce the idea off someone else, they can probably give you an idea of whether it's something that you should go all in on, or maybe take a slow approach with, or if it's just something that's really, really offbeat. Either way, whether you talk with a friend or not, it is a good idea to sit on the idea for at least 24 to 48 hours and see if it seems as amazing as what you originally thought it was. With ADHD, it's good to prioritize your ideas as well. Sometimes you have so many ideas that you really don't have the time or the money. I mean, maybe they all are amazing ideas, but you just don't have the time or the money to implement them all. Maybe look at the top 3 that would be the most interesting or most promising to you. You can look at what area they're in, try and have a balance of what you're trying to do in life, whether it's relationships or personal development or the creative area or whichever area that you want to focus in. And you also want to look at the amount of commitment that that idea would take. So if it's something that has a lower commitment and you can implement quicker with less risk, then maybe that's an idea you can jump on quicker. If it's something that has more financial input or maybe involves more risk, that doesn't mean you don't do it. It just means you need to take the time to maybe plan a little bit more so it's clearer and you're not just impulsively, because a lot of the time if you have ADHD, you're going to jump in impulsively to things. It doesn't have to be something that's going to financially benefit you or that's going to have some huge, profound impact on your life. It might be something in the creative areas. There are all kinds of ideas we can have that can benefit ourselves, benefit other people, or just be for enjoyment. Just try and prioritize and organize what you feel is most important or would be most beneficial in your life right now. Sometimes with ADHD, we don't have difficulty committing to something, going all in on something, but we don't stick with it. You don't want to go all in and then burn out, or go all in and then jump to the next shiny thing. So just make sure that whatever you're committing to, at least try and commit to it for 60 to 90 days and see where it goes. With YouTube, it took me quite some time to get started because I was nervous. I had a humongous list of ideas, but I didn't bring them to fruition for quite some time and start the channel, but I am trying to be consistent. It's something that I do enjoy doing, and it also has meaning for me because I'm trying to share some fun videos, but also videos about mental health and neurodiversity like this video, and so it has a lot of meaning to me. I know I will stick with this one, but a lot of the time when you have ADHD, you jump from one thing to another. The important thing is to stick with it, whatever your idea was, even after the initial excitement phase wears off. I know myself even, I thought I was going to be a superb guitar player at one point, so I bought a guitar. My kid bought a ukulele at one point because they thought they were going to learn to play the ukulele and take lessons and do all these things. Stick with it for a while, whatever idea you've decided to go with. Give yourself a chance to learn and grow and really explore that idea. Sometimes when we have ADHD, we tend to give up on things when results don't come as quickly as we expect them to, or it takes more effort, or something is harder than we thought it would be. If you are learning to draw and your horses still look like cows, stay with it, have fun with it, and just keep learning and exploring whatever that is. I hope you found some of those suggestions helpful. It's an interesting thing to have all these ideas, and sometimes you don't have the time or the resources or the focus to implement them all. but there are a lot of benefits for you and for other people as well when you can bring some of those amazing ideas to life. If you have any suggestions on what you've done when you have this plethora of ideas, when you have ADHD, leave it down in the comments below and I'd love to hear about it. Hope to see you in the next video. Guitar player, I can't say good. In the recent time period, in the recent future, no, that would be the recent past, in the near future. Okay, you know what, that's good. I have options. Okay.